My name is Mohammed Avdol, and I am a fortune teller from Cairo. My stand, Magician's Red, grants me mastery over the very flames of the soul. I have faced many powerful stand users on my journey with Mr. Joestar and my friends, but today I encountered something different. A young man with hair the color of cherry blossoms and a fiery spirit to match challenged me. He called himself Natsu Dragneel, a dragon slayer from a guild named Fairy Tale. I sensed no stand from him, yet the heat radiating from his body was immense, raw, and untamed. This was not the precise, controlled energy of a stand, but the wild inferno of a mythical beast. "So, you're a fire mage, old man? Let's see whose fire burns hotter." Before I could even finish my usual warning, he inhaled deeply, his cheeks puffing out like a bellows. A torrent of fire, vast and chaotic, erupted from his mouth. "Fire dragons roar!" he bellowed. The sheer volume of the flames was astonishing. They weren't shaped or controlled, just a raw blast of destructive power. But power without control is a weakness. "Magician's Red!" I called forth my stand. With a powerful cry, my avian familiar materialized, spreading its glorious wings and unleashing a counterblast of its own. Our flames met midair, a swirling vortex of orange and crimson. My fire, imbued with my life force and will, was hotter, more refined. It consumed his roar, pushing back against the uncontrolled inferno. He seemed surprised, even impressed. "Whoa, your fire is something else," he exclaimed, his grin never faltering. He wasn't discouraged, he was excited. This boy, he doesn't fight with malice, but with a pure, almost childlike joy for battle. He's like a force of nature. He then ignited his fists. "Fire Dragon's Iron Fist," he shouted, lunging at me with incredible speed. He aimed to fight me head-on, a brawler's approach, a foolish move against a stand user. Magician's Red intercepted him easily, its powerful talons deflecting his fiery punches. Each clash created a shockwave of heat that sent sand swirling around us. He was strong, physically powerful in a way most stand users are not. It was like fighting a living, breathing furnace. But he was predictable. All his attacks were straightforward, relying on brute force. "You are powerful, young man," I stated, keeping a safe distance. Magician's Red hovered protectively before me. "But your flames lack discipline. They are a wildfire, whereas mine are a precision tool." To demonstrate, I commanded Magician's Red to unleash its signature technique. "Crossfire Hurricane!" My stand launched a swirling ank of fire that sped towards him. It's a move that seeks its target, a spiraling vortex of inescapable heat. Natsu didn't try to dodge. Instead, he met it head-on. He opened his mouth and began to eat my flames. He was consuming my crossfire hurricane. My stand's fire, the manifestation of my own soul, was being devoured by this boy. I was utterly shocked. "What kind of sorcery is this?" I exclaimed, my usual composure shaken. He finished the last of my attack and let out a satisfied burp, smoke wafting from his mouth. "Thanks for the meal," he said, patting his stomach. "Your fire's got a real kick to it." "Now I'm all fired up!" His power level surged, the heat around him intensifying to an almost unbearable degree. His skin began to glow, and markings like dragon scales appeared on his arms and face. This was his true power, a dragon force, he called it. He had turned my own energy against me, using it to fuel his transformation. This was a battle unlike any I had ever fought. My strategies, my experience, it was all being challenged by this boy who defied all logic. I couldn't simply overpower him with heat. He would only grow stronger. I needed a different approach. I needed to trap him, to bind him. "You are a formidable opponent, Natsu Dragneel," I conceded, a newfound respect in my voice. "But a fire that burns too bright will eventually burn itself out." I needed to test the limits of his consumption. I commanded Magician's Red to create a cage of fire around him. "Red bind!" I shouted. Ropes of intense flame shot from my stand's hands, wrapping around Natsu's limbs and torso, constricting him. It is a technique designed to hold an opponent, not to destroy them. The heat is immense, enough to melt steel. For a moment, he struggled against the fiery ropes, roaring in frustration. I thought I had him. But then, he started laughing. More food? You shouldn't have. And he began to eat the red bind as well, slurping the ropes of fire like they were noodles. This was getting ridiculous. My stamina was beginning to wane. Magician's Red is a part of me. Sustaining its powerful flames takes a toll on my own life energy. Meanwhile, Natsu seemed more energized than when we started. He was a paradox, a creature powered by the very element I wielded. His simple-minded approach was his greatest strength. He didn't strategize or overthink, he just acted, fought, and ate. As he finished devouring my red bind, he looked at me, his eyes burning with determination. "All right, old man, I'm done playing around," he declared. He took a deep breath, gathering all the power he had absorbed from my attacks. The ground beneath him cracked, and the air itself seemed to shimmer with heat. "Fire Dragon King's Demolition Fist!" He rocketed towards me, his entire body wreathed in a cataclysmic aura of crimson and gold flames. It was an attack meant to end it all, a single decisive blow carrying the power of a Dragon King. There was no dodging this. The sheer speed and area of effect were too great. Magician's Red stood before me, a final defiant shield. I knew this would be a contest of pure will. My soul's fire against the raw power of a dragon. Our powers clashed in a blinding explosion that dwarfed everything before it. The heat was apocalyptic. For a moment, I felt my stand falter, the immense pressure threatening to extinguish its flames, and in turn, my own life. But I thought of Mr. Joestar, Polnareff, Kakyoin, Iggy, and Jotaro. I thought of our journey and the bonds we forged. My will, fortified by my friends, would not be broken. "Burn on, Magician's Red," I roared, pouring every last ounce of my spiritual energy into the flame. My fire surged, becoming a brilliant white-hot blaze that met his Dragon King's power. The world turned white. When my vision returned, the desert landscape was transformed. The sand around us had been fused into glass, a testament to the incredible power we had unleashed. Natsu was on one knee, breathing heavily, his Dragon Force transformation having faded. He was completely exhausted. Magician's Red had dissipated, and I was leaning on my knees, equally spent. We had fought each other to a standstill. He looked up at me, the brash grin returning to his face, albeit a tired one. "Heh, you're pretty strong, old man." I managed a weary smile myself. "Yes, I am, and so are you, Natsu Dragneel. You are a true force of nature." We didn't exchange another blow. There was no need. In that moment, there was no winner or loser, only a mutual respect between two warriors of flame. Perhaps one day our paths will cross again. This battle was a humbling experience. It taught me that power comes in many forms, and that the logic I apply to stand battles does not apply to all worlds. There are wonders and strengths beyond my comprehension. This young dragon slayer was a living embodiment of that fact. Thank you for listening to my tale. It's encounters like these that truly make a journey worthwhile. If you enjoyed this story, please consider following for more tales from my travels. Until we meet again, may your own path be filled with adventure.